Welcome to the O Brother Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Smith. Alongside me, as always, my brother from the same mother, Mike Smith.
How's it going, Dan?
It's going good, man.
So people know, we are the same height, relatively.
Well,
half an inch, maybe?
I think I've edged you out by maybe a good inch nowadays. But
well, I have shrunk.
If I'm wearing heels.
I'm at the age where you start shrinking.
So it is October 22nd when you get this episode of the O Brother Podcast. For those of you not currently following us, make sure that you do. And the easiest way to find all things O Brothers to go out to our official website, which, as you know, Mike, is OHB as in brother podcast.com. That's OHBpodcast.com. And you can get access to, as I said, all things O Brother out there. We've got a blog that we publish out there. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our videos out there, get access to all our previous episodes. I want to show off again our awesome, as we're still in Halloween Fest this year, is our nice Halloween edition O Brother mug, which is pretty sweet.
We only got one more week to use them.
Yeah, and don't forget to check out the O Brother shop on the website as well to get all your O Brother merch if you want to show off your O Brother pride. So, all right, so this week we're doing a review of Venom, Let There Be Carnage, the Venom sequel with Tom Hardy. Before we get into that, as I mentioned, Halloween Fest, a little something came in the mail the other day that I figured I'd show off here, which is this sweet 4K Ultra HD Collector's Edition of Halloween 5, which, as you can see, it's still sealed. Now, based on the review you already gave me, I'm going to have to open this, you're telling me?
Yeah, I've got all 5 here.
Yeah,
I can't believe they actually found more extras to put into these movies.
Right.
It's incredible. But the look is stunning.
And it says a new 2021 Dolby Atmos mix.
Yeah. The sound, especially if you got a sound bar, a nice bass. The picture, even the Blu-ray, is superior to the last Blu-ray. It's just really good stuff.
There's a lot of extras on here. So this would be a good pickup for you physical media collectors, which again, I'm not, but this is one of the franchises I make an exception for.
And they're hard to get right now. They're sold out pretty much everywhere because of the shipping deal with everything, like all the stuff coming from overseas is getting tied up. And unfortunately, the Halloweens.
Well, not unfortunately for us.
No, I was lucky. I had to use 3 sources to get all 5.
Yeah, I saw that out on your Instagram. You had put a photo out of all of them. That's nice. So,
and I haven't got through them all. So there's tons of stuff.
Now I want to do, all right. So let's get into it. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage came out October 1st.
We never did Venom, right?
Never did Venom. No. And I saw this a few days after it came out in the theater. And it was interesting because, well, I want to do a little PSA first for the listeners. And one listener in particular, and you know who you are. You're sitting in row E, seat, I want to say maybe 16 and 17 with your significant other. Shut up or go home.
You had one of those.
If you are listening and you are one of these talkers, these cell phone users, these whatever,
don't even bring it in.
Do us a favor and just don't come to the movies.
This is a short movie. This is 90 minutes.
And this couple talked.
Shut up.
This couple talked for 89 of those 90 minutes. And in fact, there was a couple beside us that got up. We know this move. They get up and just went to some other location. And
I used to feel bad about that, getting up and moving. And now you have, and I'm sure you do there too, you have assigned seating now.
Yes.
Which I hate because I get up and I move, and with my luck, I move into somebody who shows up and says, that's my seat.
Yeah, by then you're settled in, so I don't think that happens as often. But they we were giving them the the evil eye the whole time. It's like, why are you here? I mean, first of all, we know it isn't cheap to go to the theaters these days.
Right.
So like, what are you doing? You're just wasting your money and wasting our time.
Were they talking about the movie or something?
No, they were just in it. No, they were just kind of rambling on about whatever. And so anyways, if you're one of those, do us all a favor and stay away from the theater, at least while I'm there, because it just ruins the experience for the rest of us.
In the car, like Bond is coming up, getting ready to go to Bond. That's going to be 2.5 hours that we have to sit there. So leave your phone at home. Leave it at home, please.
Right. Well, just leave yourself at home. I don't care if your phone's there. I'll take care of your phone. Just you stay home. This would be a great opportunity for Venom to like chomp someone's head off, just right over here. It's a perfect meal for you. But anyways, all right. So what do you want to set this up in any particular way with the sequel, call back to the original in some way?
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson.
Part 2.
Yeah.
We ended after the credit scene of Venom 1. We were introduced to
Kasady.
Kasady, played by
Woody Harrelson.
So we were introduced to him. So we knew he was going to be in.
Well, and he signed on for the sequel during production of the first one.
Meaning a third one, or
no? Meaning this sequel.
Okay, this sequel. Okay. So, anyways, we knew he was going to be part of it. We didn't know how. They did the makeup a little different. Apparently, was
there some de-aging going on in this?
I don't think so.
Really? You're giving Woody that much credit?
Yeah, I think so. I think he can, look different, and so I don't think they de-aged him. But
okay.
Anyway, it starts out Eddie Brock, who's played by Tom Hardy and is also Venom, is also a news reporter, and Carnage wants to talk to him and do an interview about his life because he's about to go to the electric chair.
Right.
So, Eddie decides to do the interview. He gets coaxed by a cop because they might find out some information about his crimes. So he goes and visits him in the jail. He gets too close. The one thing you would do if you have symbiote in you is not get close to people. I'm forgetting his name again.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, no, not his name, but
just say Woody's character.
Okay, yeah,
just
Woody's
say Carnage
character.
For crying out loud.
Yeah,
just say Carnage.
So what he does is he kind of gets a little nip of his finger, gets the symbiotes in him. So when he goes to be not the electric chair, but they give him the liquid stuff for whatever, he becomes basically another Venom. And the story goes from there.
And isn't in some circles the character's referred to as Red Venom, right?
Not just Carnage.
Yeah.
I think in the comics it's Carnage.
Okay, I don't know where I'm getting Red Venom. I'm adamant that there's a Red Venom reference. So
there might be.
Hit us up in the comments.
Yeah, we're not comic people, but
I'm way off.
I'm pretty sure in the comics it's Carnage.
Yeah. Because
I heard that talk in the first one. Now, should mention the first one. Did you go back and watch the beginning of the first one?
I watched almost the entire. Actually, no, I watched the entire first one again. Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Because it started out originally halfway decent.
Yeah.
With the crash and how the symbiote escaped.
With Riz Ahmad.
Right. He played this ruthless character.
Right.
And then as soon as the symbiote gets into Tom Hardy, it becomes a buddy comedy or something. It's stupid. From that point out, the movie is just stupid. So this movie starts with the buddy comedy. So it just starts stupid and gets stupider. And I was so annoyed with the conversation between Venom and Eddie Brock. It like gave me a headache. It was so bad.
Well,
But DC just can't do it.
what
Dan.
specifically about it that you didn't?
It was constant jabbering between the two, which I guess if you had something in you that you could talk to, you'd constantly talk to it. It was annoying as hell.
Well,
and it's not funny. This stuff isn't funny.
I didn't like it in the first one. I wasn't a big fan of the first one. I think I liked the original a smidge better
because of the beginning.
The second time I watched it, but I'm still not a fan of that. I do think the sequel is better than the original.
Wow.
But if I'm going to be critical of the film, that's really the problem I had with it, was what you're describing is just that constant back and forth. Now, we know Marvel has really always done a really good job at the comedic aspect of their films. Right. They know where to place it.
Right.
They never go too far with it.
Except with Shang-Chi, they went too far.
Well, that's
in my opinion.
You're entitled to your opinion. Yeah.
If Aquafina's not in that movie, I'm giving it a thumbs up. But
part
too much silliness.
Shang-Chi episode was weeks ago.
I know.
But
I know.
Anyways, back to the Venom 2, folks.
Marvel DC.
There's going to be some carnage on this episode, folks, before we're through. But, it not only just the back and forth, but honestly, sometimes it's just hard to understand what Venom is saying.
Yeah.
Now, is this correct? Is it Tony Todd, the voice of Venom?
Yeah,
who
I guess. Yeah.
Was also known for his role as Candyman, which I'm not a fan of that.
Well, yeah. In fact, the new Candyman just came out.
That's right. Ironically, so
we skipped that one.
But I didn't have as much problem with that. I'm a little split on this sequel. I don't hate it. I didn't love it.
I don't even see how you can be split.
It's making some good bank. It's mixed reviews, but
I know
it's making some good bank.
I don't see how you can be split.
Have you checked the IMDb ratings?
I did early over the weekend, but I haven't looked at it recently.
Okay, so we ought to take a look at that as well, just to see kind of what it's doing. So let's see.
It was below 70 when I looked at it.
Well, IMDb, the rating for the original is 6.7.
That's too high.
Let's see. What about?
And who was that? The critics?
I'm just looking at the overall. I'm looking at the overall score.
Yeah.
So Rotten Tomatoes, 61 from the critics, 61% rating from the critics, 84% from the audience.
Wow.
And now let's see. Let's compare that to
there are loyalty people who are just loyal to the franchise. If it's a DC, I'm going to love it. If it's a Venom movie, I'm going to love it. And I think, they're too locked in. If they really analyze this thing, it's really trash.
All right, let's see. So on IMDb, 6.5. So it's about the same as the original. 6.7, 6.5. That's about the same. And then 48 is the score, the meta score.
That's the score.
Yeah, that's it.
That's basically right.
Yeah.
And it'll likely go down from there. Although most critics have to go see this one because it's a big release. It's doing a lot of money.
And this was
going to be a big release.
And we should say
Andy Serkis,
directed by Andy Serkis, who of course
from Marvel. Again, they get a Marvel guy,
Gollum, and he's like the motion capture
King Kong.
Right, exactly, and on and on.
He's been second unit director on a lot of those films,
right?
The Planet of the Apes films.
That's right.
He was in Iron Man, and he was also in Wakanda, the Black Panther movie, and he knows a good movie from a bad movie. He's been in great movies and he's been in bad movies.
Well, the relative
bad movie.
Well, the relative point there to me is just the CGI, the overuse of the CGI. I mean, for the most part, it's good. I mean, of course, you're suspending all kinds of disbelief. I mean, of course, that goes without saying.
And I'm okay with that.
But it gets hard to follow the action sometimes with it when they're morphing in and out of each other, and from the symbiote to it just,
especially in a dark sequence, that's not really lit well. You don't see anything, and we talked about, what was the last DC movie? Suicide Squad, with 14-year-old swearing with her dad back and forth. F you, no, F you. This one, and I won't say where it is or who it is, but there's a sequence where, like out of nowhere, it's like, F that guy. I mean, it just doesn't fit.
That's right.
Did you have a problem with that?
I did have a problem with that. It was totally gratuitous.
And we are not we are not above prudes. We are not above using foul language at the drop of a hat. I would not want anyone to listen to a private phone call between you and I, because it would probably be R-rated at least.
Yeah.
But
Emily, get ready on that censor button.
Yeah, in a movie, don't do that.
Right.
It's, especially like if I was an adult and I knew my kid was going to see this movie, I wouldn't think twice. Oh, it's one of those comic book movies, right? If the parent knew that scene was in it, they'd be like horrified.
Well, we talked about that when we compared Marvel to DC, coincidentally. Remember, we were like, you imagine if Thor started dropping F-bombs and this and that.
Right.
Even Hulk. Now there's an angry guy.
Right.
And he's able to keep it together,
I know.
So yeah, I did have a problem with that. But again, there was I don't know. I liked Tom Hardy in it. Obviously we're Tom Hardy fans. I mean, most people are. He's another one of those bankable guys.
Right.
And he's loving it. Like, he's already openly said, I'll make as many of these as they want. Like, he loves this for some reason, which strikes me as odd. I don't know. He's such a, he strikes me as such a method guy.
Right. And he did, he was in Batman, and he did.
Yeah, but look at the way he transformed into Bane, and the way he played it too.
Know.
The way he played it. No, you never know.
Never know that was Tom Hardy.
Right.
And he was also in James Gandolfini's, speaking of Many Saints of Newark, he was in that movie called The Drop. That was James Gandolfini's last movie. And he was just this kind of simpleton kind of bartender. He's just a really good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
But doing this garbage, and I don't think, I'm not going to say it, but there's kind of a spoiler out there about the ending, about the post-credit scene.
Right.
But I don't think people should get too excited yet. It doesn't mean much yet, but it lays the possibility of maybe Venom coming into the Marvel universe like Spider-Man is. Now, maybe that would help. I don't know. I thought I forget what Spider-Man it was, I think Spider-Man 3, that, Eddie Brock was in it and Venom was in it. And I thought they did it pretty good. I thought the problem with that movie was too many villains. They had like the Sand guy
and too many villains. Too many villains as well.
But it made a lot of villains at the box.
yeah, tons of villains.
But I absolutely
and again, right now,
I was so glad it was 90 minutes.
It's probably made about 200 mil by now, so it's making money.
Yeah,
it's making money.
In fact, I think it's second right now, right behind Shang-Chi.
Yeah, no, does that
behind Black Widow too?
Does that inform you any more of what you speculate Bond is going to do?
Well, we already know some Bond numbers, right? Yeah, this is so we know Bond did 62 million in the weekend, which
right, but is it gonna a slow?
Well, if you look at the
catch fire here.
It opened internationally a week before. It opened but
slow
October
burn
1st.
is what I meant. Yeah.
And it's already made its money back internationally. It's already at 400 million. And I was like, there's no way. Beforehand, I said, before the movie was released, I said, no way this thing's going to be, the big money Bond that they're expecting, that they laid in 300 million to make it. And I was kind of right. I texted you Sunday when the numbers came out and said, ouch.
Yeah.
But I don't know where it is right now. It's probably, I don't even know if it's hit 100 yet.
Is it in the billions?
It's going to make a profit, and the Blu-rays and the 4Ks and HBO or wherever it winds up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to make plenty of money.
Yeah.
The days of when I was in law school, we studied the movie Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, which
as one does.
Well, yeah, most law schools, you study that case. It was a case in court that I don't know if the actors or somebody was suing. Because,
was it Arsenio versus McDougal's? Is that what it was called?
But they were arguing the movie made no money. That was the big scam back. That was like in the mid-90s. No, I was in law school. Yeah, I graduated 91. Wow. Yikes.
No, 91. No.
Yeah. No, 94. I graduated. Yeah, 97.
Yeah.
96. I graduated.
Or 2005. One of the two.
Like one of those. It's either
I graduated. I graduated, folks.
Yeah, 82 or 96.
Yeah. And I'm making billions of dollars as a result.
Hopefully I'll graduate soon. But but there was a big scam right in the mid 90s where every movie you read about made no money.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't pay those back end dollars like Scarlett Johansson was suing Disney over. So anyway, I didn't mean to sidetrack that. You can like cut that, Emily, if you want, because I kind of took a right.
She's gonna chop.
Yeah.
Slice and dice.
So anyway, that's my take on this. Garbage. I mean, you've probably already seen it.
Well, what did you think of what about the other character in there? Is it Shriek? The female character that
I didn't even
is like a necromancer from Raised by Wolves, the Ridley Scott series on HBO. That's a little side reference for my girlfriend.
Yeah, again, that was a comic character that I have no idea. And they just didn't give us any background, just threw her in there. And she was housed in the same place as Carnage. So
now, who was the guy? Who was the guy that played the detective you mentioned earlier, the cop?
Oh God,
because he's great. Remember, he was in Boardwalk Empire. In fact,
he's a good actor.
Am I correct in that you've got Tom Hardy, and we need to look this guy up to give him his due?
Yeah,
but you have him. Okay, I got it right here. Hold on.
He looks like
and Stephen Graham, who plays Detective Mulligan. They both played in different iterations Al Capone.
That's right.
Which is kind of an interesting sort of
Tom
thing,
Hardy, the most recent, which didn't do well.
Oh, let's give it up, though. Let's give it up for Mrs. Chen. Can we give it up for Mrs. Chen?
Oh, yeah.
Who was played by Peggy Lou. She was hilarious. In fact, there was a scene, not to give anything away, this is not really a spoiler, but...
Well, this is from the first one.
No.
People know her from the first. I know, but people know her from.
Oh, sure, the character, right,
in
absolutely.
The store. Her husband was killed.
But they did a thing where well, maybe I shouldn't say it. I guess I won't say it. But there's some good special effects.
Bye, Mrs. Chen.
Yeah, there's some good special effects. Anyways, yeah, Stephen Graham, he's a wonderful actor as well.
When you go back to the first one and you watch the beginning,
and Michelle Williams, hold on, there's another. Let's do a 6 degrees of Heath Ledger, right? Joker, Tom Hardy, Bane, the Dark Knight trilogy. Okay, go ahead. I digress. Get us back on track.
I was gonna say that in the original, the way the symbiote would pick the host, it didn't just stay in one person. It constantly bounced from person to person to regain energy. I don't even remember why it stays in Eddie Brock. Like,
I
why
wish
doesn't
I
it just
could
jump to someone else.
I wish I could
Likes to
change.
kill.
I wish I could change co-hosts in the same way. That would be.
All of a sudden, like somebody else would appear.
Yeah, mom comes in,
Oh, mother.
Well,
But
yeah, all right. So you're clearly. I didn't
no,
think you were going to hate
I'm
it this bad. Now,
yeah,
compared to the first, where is this worse, better,
worse than the first, because I actually like the
worse
beginning of the first.
than the first, folks?
Worse than the first, because
Wow.
the beginning
I don't think so.
of the first one, that story was going fine until it got into Tom Hardy and it became a clown show. I mean,
Yeah.
like, here I am, like, wanting my comic book movies to be more serious, I guess is what I'm saying. They're just too silly.
Yeah.
And this is why Scorsese and those big directors are like, stop doing this crap.
Mhm.
You
Well,
know,
I
but
made that comment about one of our, I don't know if it was Shang-Chi or Suicide Squad, or maybe it was Shang-Chi, where I said, yeah, I want my fantasy to be mixed with a little bit more reality.
right.
So
That's kind of where I leave off with this.
yeah, I really think this is better than the first, quite frankly.
I'm sure people are going to like it.
Yeah, and I didn't like the first one. So,
It's like, it's one of those escapism kind of things where, popcorn, just grab some popcorn. This is great.
yeah.
Oh, he's munching a guy. Sorry,
Yeah.
not for me.
Yeah, I think it's a little better than you're giving it credit for. I'm not saying it's a great film.
I don't even see anything. Like, I'm trying to take some of your points.
I like I just, well, I mean, I like Carnage as a villain. I thought that was a pretty good, and but the Shriek, that character threw me off. It was sort of, okay, I get she's got her own whatever paranormal, I don't know what you call it, her own sort of thing going on,
well,
right?
she
Her powers.
She
shrieks, right? but
oh, man, they call her the Shriek.
Right. Now, it's bad enough she's in a relationship with a serial killer. Like, you already know she's not of the best judgment, but he becomes this, like, creature of carnage, and she just immediately goes along with it and doesn't question it whatsoever. Like, when he goes, I want to introduce you to Carnage, and, like, he just starts growing limbs, and she's like, oh, that's cool.
They're ruthless killers.
It's like a Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing.
Yeah, they're ruthless killers. I mean, Woody Harrelson's in jail because he's a serial killer.
Speaking of haircuts, that haircut that Woody was sporting.
Yeah.
Because we know he doesn't
usually
sport hair. But
I don't know why they were trying to make him look effeminate. Like, that didn't really go anywhere or pay off.
I don't think it was that. I think it was just, I think what they were doing was just giving him some, some quirkiness to his character. He just was a little sort of, I wouldn't even say flamboyant. He was just sort of
I thought at the end of the first one, when they introduced him and he had all this rouge on, I was like, okay, I don't know who that is or what he's going to become.
I'm still making a claim that there's some de-aging going on. Look, look, that's my claim.
That's very expensive stuff.
Yeah, it just looked a little too polished.
Maybe when the
no offense, Woody.
Blu-ray comes out, we'll probably find out.
Yeah, I think they de-aged Woody in Toy Story too. So there may be something going on with that whole thing. Emily, look into that. Will you get back to us? Check with the research department. Well, anything else to say about Let There Be Carnage?
No.
All right, you're moving on.
Hated it.
All right.
And no matter how many times I say that, people are going to go see it. So
let's have your old brother video pick for this. All right, episode.
My video pick is kind of a horror, but I don't know if you'd call it horror genre, but it fits for this season. I think it's Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver.
This is a brand new 4K.
Interesting.
I happen to get.
Okay.
You don't need the 4K. It's a great movie on whatever.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
There's nobody else here.
You must be talking.
Must be talking to me.
That classic.
That
De Niro.
Yeah. But that's my pick. Check it out. You'll see why De Niro's one of the top 5
I'm
actors ever.
I'm coming a little lazy with it this week, but I'm not going to say this specifically referencing back to Halloween 5, the 4K edition, but as you did in maybe the previous episode or a couple episodes ago, you were like, just kind of, pull out anything sort of horror, Jason, Freddy, whatever it is, Chucky. I got to say, start delving into this. By the time you listen to this episode, right, we're like a week away from Halloween.
Right. Crack the extras.
And if you're daring enough, throw on a little Season of the Witch, Halloween 3. A little Tom Atkins love, right? But this would be a good one if you can find it. You already said
if you can, right? I
luck.
think right now you can get the first one, but there's already a 4K release of the first one.
It's a great cover, and we should say, and I don't have it here, but we will have it for our next Halloween episode. Danielle Harris, who of course we're big fans of,
right,
is in this 4 and 5.
She's a little tyke in that. And, if you take the case out, right, take the case out, that artwork is reversible. You know how that's kind of a thing right now with special editions. So you can have the original artwork if you want.
Sounds like a desperate thing. Sounds like a desperate attempt from the physical media universe.
No, I just think it's.
I'm not buying what you're selling.
I think it's a very cool box. It's very, like nice and rugged, Dan, I was counting today.
Yeah.
12 racks, and I've got no room.
Yeah.
I need rack number 13.
You need therapy is what you need. And you also need help. You need to come over to the dark side and finally make the switch.
But see, when you watch Halloween 5,
because think about it.
Because you have to watch the disc.
I guess I do. I really hate to open this as a collector.
I'll open it because it's still sweet.
Yeah.
But open that up, watch Halloween 5 on disc in 4K. You're going to love it.
All right. Well, I'll make that commitment to you, and I'll make sure.
That's the extras. There's a lot of time the extras, everyone is ragging on the movie.
Right.
So I don't take these Halloween movies serious. Like people are like, he's just, talking all this trash about Venom. And now he's like hyping up. I'm not hyping up the movie per se. I'm the quality of the picture. And you can't reference picture to picture.
Well, and 4 and 5 were such a big deal because it was a return to the character since he didn't appear after 3.
Yes.
And it's a continuation. So 4 and 5 hold a real special place for me in the franchise. Mustafa
Akkad, he's in the extras, and he said, once we saw the box office receipts for 4, we started making 5 that next day.
Hallelujah to that. Yeah. Thank goodness for that. Well, all right. So before we sign off again, let's just say for those of you not currently following us, make sure that you do. And the easiest way to find all things Oh Brother is to go out to our official website, which is, Emily, let's see what you can do here. ohbpodcast.com. That's OHB as in brother podcast.com. And you can get access to all the Oh Brother goings on there at our official website. You're going to say something else?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, it's going to do it for another Halloween Fest episode of the Oh Brother podcast. I've been your host, Dan Smith. Alongside me, as always, my brother from the same mother, Mike Smith. And we will see you next time.
Once you start eating people, they pull you back in. I was trying to work the Godfather with Venom. Forget it.
My lucky
see you next
coat.
time, everyone.